Welcome to DasGeek. What we have here today is something that is really personal to me because I love Star Trek. I'm a Trekkie, at least by name. I call myself a Trekkie, but there are people who can quote every episode in the dialogue, and I'm not that much of a Trekkie, but I certainly collect a lot of Star Trek memorabilia, as well as I've absolutely watched every TV series and movie out there and enjoy them all, even enjoy the latest movies, even though they're not traditional space dramas like the original Star Treks. I appreciate the fact that they're trying to kind of bring them in to a new audience to enjoy Star Trek and all of its awesomeness. So, of course, when I heard finally all the corporate infighting and babbling and bullcrap was over and we were going to get a new Star Trek series from CBS, I was very excited. That was right up until I read that you have to have a separate subscription to watch this Star Trek. It's CBS All Access, and it's kind of like, I guess, their variation of a Netflix or a Hulu. It's all of their original content online, and you have to pay separate for that. So even if you have a CBS as part of your TV package, you're not going to be able to enjoy Star Trek Discovery. At least you'll only be able to enjoy the very first episode, which I've later found out, but any episodes after that will all be only on CBS All Access. So to make sure that only one of us geeks has to suffer, I went through and signed up for their plan. There are two plans here to pay for. One is a $5.99 plan, and it includes ads. The other is a $9.99 plan, and it includes less ads because I'm actually still getting some ads, although they're very short little ads in between the TV shows. They're extraordinarily loud. They're like 30% volume higher than the TV show that you're watching. And even though it's probably 2 ads per show, or maybe even sometimes every other show, I still get ads. And of course, on live TV, there's no way for them to take out the ads, so you're going to have all the ads there. So that $9.99 isn't exactly the greatest value by claiming no ads, because there are definitely some ads there that they haven't scrubbed out, or they haven't perfected yet, or they just don't care. I think some of the ads were for CBS shows, and some of the ads were for like golf apps and things like that I've noticed. So I've spent some time in CBS's new iteration of Netflix, Hulu, their version of it, and I want to walk you guys through to show you what you get for this, and also tell you what I think of the service. So right off the bat, you can log in without having to pay and kind of see some of the shows. Of course, you won't be able to watch them. But here is the list of shows that you get as far as a back catalog. So really what you're getting is any CBS TV show with some exceptions, and some of their older stuff out there. Originals, dramas, comedy, reality, primetime, late night, daytime classics, and specials. And you're getting some movies that you can also watch. Now, this is no Netflix when it comes to your movie selection here. You've got 4 movies at the top. I'm pretty sure some of these you may be able to just go watch on YouTube. Not even sure they have licensing anymore. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 movies here. The only one I would be maybe interested in is Star Trek Nemesis. So I assume they changed some of these movies up, but most of these movies are either old or not of particular interest to me, but that's okay. There's at least something. Now, some of these shows, 113 TV shows, at least currently in total. So that makes up about 9,000 episodes that you can go back and watch. Now, apparently, based on some of the comments that I was reading in forums and things, not every show that they have has every season, though most of the shows I was looking at and clicking through seem to have all the way back to season 1. So what are some shows there that are kind of interesting? Well, we can take a look here through some of them and see if anything strikes you fancy here. Not a lot of shows where I was like, oh, I've got to go see that. But I only have basic cable with no DVR, so it is kind of nice for some of these shows to be able to go back and watch them like a DVR. American Gothic looks pretty interesting. That was given a 6.8 out of 10 from IMDb. There was Criminal Minds, which is 8.1 out of 10. Elementary, 7.9 out of 10. Zoo, 7 out of 10. Jericho was an amazing show. It's over now, but very good. I don't know if all these shows are canceled or some of them are current. I have no idea. I'm not a big TV person, honestly. Late Show with James Corden, which I think he's really funny. I love watching some of his YouTube clips. Of course, all the Star Trek series from the original Enterprise forward, which is very cool. The original series to the Enterprise forward. You got the Twilight Zone, and of course, a lot, like I said, of older extent. Flashpoint. Some of them are kind of interesting shows that now that I'm paying for this, I might go and actually watch. Whereas if they came on TV, I probably would have ignored them. So I guess ultimately their evil plan here is working, holding us Trekkies hostage. Of course, there's some other ways you could probably get the episodes without paying $9.99, but I like to be legit here. So in any case, that's kind of your TV lineup, and you have that movie lineup. Not very impressive for $9 a month. At $6 a month, still not impressive, especially if you've got to go through some brutal ads that, again, literally run at 30% volume higher than your typical volume you're watching a show at. So like last night, the kids were asleep in their room, and I'm watching one of the shows, and all of a sudden the commercial comes on, and it just literally wakes everybody up because it's so loud. So I don't know what their problem is, but it's really obnoxious, to say the least. It's obnoxious that Star Trek, even if you're paying for CBS as a part of your TV package, you still don't get to watch it. If you're a cord cutter, maybe it makes a little more sense. You're giving somebody at least a legitimate way to go watch the show, and paying for it, but you're really just spitting in the face of anybody who already pays for a package that has CBS in. And I think that's pretty unfortunate. That's my personal opinion on it. So you only get 2 exclusives that I know of, or 3 exclusives. You get Star Trek Discovery, of course, that launches this Sunday. You get The Good Fight, which I have no idea what that's about. And I don't think it's been announced, but there's no real previews or anything I've seen for it. And Big Brother. So if you're into Big Brother and all that reality show drama stuff, you've got that. You also, for sports fans, and this is pretty big deal if you're into sports, you do get the local NFL games that are playing that you can watch here. So CBS, any of the NFL games that CBS gets, they normally air, you can stream through here. As far as devices and things you can stream on, you've got a lot of platform support. You've got Apple TV, Android, iPhone, Google Chromecast, Fire TV, which is what I've used, PS4, Roku, Windows 10, and Xbox. Now, notice that they put Windows 10 there specifically. Like, you couldn't watch it in Linux. We're in Linux right now. It's through a web browser. I've watched shows through it. Obviously, there's no issue, but they specify Windows 10. So obviously, the folks who do their marketing are a bunch of noobs. And they also left off Mac OS. Like, well, you can't watch it if you have Mac OS. You'd think they would just put PC there, would be a better thing. But in any case, basically your computer with the web browser, your Android or iPhone devices, and most of the streaming devices out there, they do not actually have this app for PS3. So if you're like me and you use your PS3 as a media box or server, you're not going to be able to use it there either unless you go to it through the browser itself. So that's what's included, which frankly isn't much, and a little bit shameful on the fact that you kind of still see ads. But some of the things that they do well, it does autoplay. So if you're in the middle of watching an episode of a series, for instance, maybe you love Two Broke Girls and you're watching season 1, episode 1. Once that episode 1 is done playing, it will automatically go to episode 2. So that's a nice touch. I'm glad they built that into there. I've been watching The Salvation Show, which is about an asteroid coming to Earth. It's sci-fi-ish, and it's pretty decent. So some of the shows they have are okay quality in here, and some of these are just ones that personally I'd have no interest in, but they do have a lot. Most of their series seem to be drama-based. So if you're into drama stuff, then there's a lot there. The HD quality of the shows was fantastic. I had no issues with the streaming quality. It was very, very bright and vivid colors. They seem to have do a fantastic job of making sure you're getting a really quality picture. Of course, we'll see with all the people kind of inundating with Star Trek if they're able to keep that up, depending on how many people are willing to pay for this. Of course, the first season or first episode of Star Trek will be available on regular TV. Just this one coming up on Sunday. They do have closed captioning available, which is really nice. Obviously, individuals with any disabilities or whatever will love closed captioning, but I love it as well because it allows me to keep the volume lower and still be able to hear what's going on in the shows, especially at night when kids are sleeping or something like that. So closed captioning there. You have a favorites, so you can add shows to what's called your My CBS, and that allows you to go in and look at shows that you enjoy watching specifically. So that was a nice touch. There's a resume from where you left off. So if you leave an episode in the middle and then come back, it will ask you, do you want to resume where you left off? There's fast forward and rewind. And my wife was able to watch shows on her phone, different shows on her phone than I was watching on my TV. And I've been able to watch shows on my computer while they were watching shows downstairs on the TV. So as long as you have this one subscription, there doesn't seem to be a limit on the amount of devices that can play through there. So keep that in mind as a potential hint. Now, they may change that in the future. I would hope not for what everybody's paying for it, but they may change it. So if you go to My CBS, then you can see some of the shows like Salvation. This is one I was talking about. Extent looks kind of interesting, another sci-fi show. Of course, James Corden, American Gothic looked interesting to me. Elementary, Training Day, and these are some that I just randomly kind of grabbed. And so you can go through here and look at your favorite shows and be able to continue watching those. And of course, you have a schedule and show you what's actually playing. And you can go to live TV. You can go to the CBS 24/7 news or the local station. And that's what you would do to watch your NFL or anything else coming up that you're interested in. So there's something here. There's something here interesting, and I love the fact that a new Star Trek series is starting. I'm very excited for it. I know there's been some mixed reviews and thoughts about it, but I'm just excited to see Star Trek back on TV, and I hope that they get some idea from this this test they're doing in the market that maybe this isn't the best way to go out there and compete with the Netflix and Hulu. If you're going to, then at least offer a much better selection of movies and things out there. But their overall platform isn't bad. And again, I guess they win, right? Because I'm the sucker that's paying for the subscription because I can't not watch Star Trek out there. In any case, let me know in the comments below if you're a Trekkie, number one, and if you are going to splurge for a CBS All Access account so that you can watch the new Star Trek. Are you going to be smart? Because I didn't find out till after I subscribed that the first episode, which I should have watched first, is actually going to be available on standard CBS channels. Are you going to be smart and wait for the first episode and see if it allures you enough? Is there any TV show that's worth $9.99 a month? Of course, that answer is yes, Game of Thrones. I get HBO just for Game of Thrones. As soon as Game of Thrones is over, I cancel. And HBO has a lot more content that I like to watch than CBS, for instance. But in any case, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. And until next time, live long and prosper.